Hello and welcome to jasonnewland.com. My name's Jason Newland. Please only listen when you can safely close your eyes. Oh dear. Blimey. So, today is Sunday the 14th of December 2025. A quick apology for Friday's Q&A Friday only having one recording as opposed to with music and 5 hours, 10 hours and all that stuff. I was having problems with my recording equipment. That's all it is, really. Hopefully I've figured it out now. But I hope. Please. But yeah, just having problems. Hopefully it's okay. So it should be okay now. I kind of feel I need better equipment, but as long as the sound is okay, that's the main thing. There's always it could always be better. And I've got various different stuff I can use, but it's learning to use it. Yeah, so hopefully it's okay. So what have I got here? Just checking. So today's Sunday. I hope everyone's okay. A special sending love especially to my listeners in Australia today. Especially those near Sydney or. So I just want to send my love out to you all. And Vinny does, of course. And wherever else you are in the world listening. So let's have a quick look. I'm looking, I'm always looking to kind of change things up a little bit. What I thought I might do, not necessarily forever, but just maybe today, is do a kind of... Here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking. To maybe do a short meditation or / body scan. Body scan is a meditation. So like a short meditation at the beginning of the recording. And just for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Just a short one. And then continue with the recording. I don't know what you think about that. What do you think? So I'm gonna do it today. Normally, if I was gonna do anything in a sense of like a body scan, meditational, hypnosis-y, I prefer there to be no background sound. And I generally avoid doing one when Vinny's chomping on his bones. I can't always do that because he's with me 24 hours a day. And I'm just saying, he might hear him in the background, but he is just as much a part of this recording as I am, I do believe, as you are. We're all in this together. We're all kind of part of a little group. Kind of. It's like we're all on one big naughty step. maybe. So, I don't know if I could do a body scan with my eyes open. Yeah, I could. So again, I mean, I would say only listen when you can safely close your eyes. One of the benefits I find with closing my eyes is it just, I like closing my eyes. It feels nice to give my eyes a rest. And I suppose I'm quite an auditory person rather than a visual person. I mean, I'm both. I mean, I think we're all everything, aren't we? But I would say more of an auditory person, which explains why I was quite good on working on telephones, using the telephone, because that style of communication suited me way, way, way better than face-to-face communication. Like, I've never communicated as well in person with anybody ever. Apart from perhaps my nan, as I did on a telephone. Maybe Luke. Maybe I've had a couple of friends, maybe, yeah, but as far as, yeah, I think the way for me to keep friendships going is for them to move away and just talk on the phone, because I seem to be, I don't know, we've all got our strengths, haven't we? And I seem to communicate easier on the phone than in person. But so taking away the eyesight temporarily, when your eyes are closed, I mean, you could say it takes away distractions, but it depends what distracts you. I mean, I'm more likely to get distracted by sounds than by visual things. So closing my eyes isn't necessarily, I'm just contradicting myself now, aren't I? By the end of this, I was saying, don't meditate, it's rubbish. It's pointless. No, I won't. You know something I used to do years ago, but I've not started the meditation yet, by the way. Something I used to do years ago. I'm talking late 90s. And this is when I started learning about hypnosis, and I really got interested in self-help books and kind of psychology, and it was very interesting to me. On one occasion, I think on more than one occasion, but one particular occasion, I didn't cook my dinner blindfolded, but once the dinner was cooked and put on a plate, I blindfolded myself and then I walked around to get the cutlery and to pick the plates up and to walk to the table and to eat with a blindfold on. It's amazing the amount of times I tried to put that fish finger in my nose No, I didn't. It's weird though, because part of me I was thinking, well, the food would taste different maybe if I'm not looking at it, if I'm not distracted by all the cats sitting on the table waiting to see if they can get some of my fish fingers. There's a few cats living there at the time. But that movement, that careful movement, walking towards the table, and there was a few obstacles in that house. It was one of those houses where things would be left on the stairs on purpose, which I'll never be able to get my head around. The stairs is not a place for things to be put. It's a place to be kept clear, but not to put obstacles. But yeah, so I wouldn't have even attempted to walk up and down them stairs blindfolded. But I managed to make it to the table, and I think I picked up the tomato ketchup bottle. It was a squeezy one. I think it was a squeezy one. And I put some ketchup on. I did it twice because the first lot went on the table. And then I made it. When I actually took my blindfold off, it was a mess. Honestly, it was everywhere. I did it. I mean, that was when I did it on my own. The first time I did it, I thought I'd do it with people around so I didn't fall over and, it'd be safer. And I sat down with two other people who were having their food at the same time. They thought it was weird me putting a what's it on. They put it on for me actually, which meant I couldn't see. I didn't have a little cheat, so I could look underneath it. And that was weird because they were laughing at me. And when I was eating, one was laughing, the other wasn't laughing. It turned out I ate the wrong meal. I was just eating the one next to me. It's like, why would your meal be at arm's length to the left? I said, I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that you were eating something tastier than me. But it was nice. It felt like, not nice. I mean, I'm not saying, I like being able to see. It's definitely useful. But having that rest from the visual stimulus was kind of a unique experience, because it wasn't just like closing my eyes. I mean, it was it was similar to closing my eyes. I mean, it's probably exactly like closing my eyes, I suppose, in a way. But when you got your eye, but if you got a blindfold on, and it's just like, if you put, if you got a hat and you put it over your ears, not over your ears, over your eyes, it blocks out the light, doesn't it? Because light gets through the eyelids, unless of course there's no light. I mean, if you're in a dark room, no light's gonna go through your eyelids. In fact, technically, you don't need to be blindfolded. You don't need to close your eyes, really, do you? If in a dark room. No. Yeah. I know people that sleep with their eyes open. Honestly, That's the freakiest thing. Those bloke who used to, this is in the 90s, but he used to sleep. Well, I'm just going to repeat the sentence. He used to sleep with his eyes open. And because everyone was a little bit tipsy, shall we say, and the other people in the room decided to build a pack of, like a house of cards on top of his face. I don't know why that seems like a good idea, but it's not something that I would ever be part of. Super glue his feet to the floor, yeah, I'm up for that, but yeah, cards, balancing cards on his head just seems a little bit overkill, a little bit too much. Tattooing a willy on his forehead, but you're not balancing cards, shaving his head. That I don't mind that. That's okay. But you know, I have my limits. There's certain, like, no. I think balancing cards on someone's head when they're asleep, playing cards. It seems just rude and disrespectful. Going through his phone, sending a text to his girlfriend saying that he's split up with her. I'm okay with that, but no. Wow, that went dark. No, of course I wouldn't. But that's the kind of silly things that they would do, like really, really dumb things. I had someone I used to work with. There was a group of them used to go out on a Friday night, and they basically made a dare. Did a dare, and I don't know who wrote the letter. I think it might have been one of the other lads, but he put it through the letterbox of the company. Basically, to the manager, this is what I think of you. Now, I don't know if he even wrote it or his pals, who also worked there, wrote it. But he couldn't go back to work after that. And that was probably hilarious at the time. I got the contents of the letter from someone who wrote it, or I think it was like a community effort. So I didn't get to see the letter itself, but I got some of the content from someone that was there that night. And it wasn't nice, it wasn't, but it was probably really funny in their brains at that circumstance. But it's definitely a letter not to send. I think that's where text is coming, have been a bit of a little problem. With a letter, it takes a lot of effort to write a letter. And then you have to buy a stamp, you have to go to the post office or post box and put it in there. So there's a lot of opportunities to not send it. With a text on a phone, the last 25, 30 years, however long it's been, that texting's been a thing, it's like one button. It needs to be a few little things. You have to sort of, I can't do it until I've walked around the block 5 times. I can't send it until I've, I don't know, done 20 press-ups or eaten a frog. I don't know. You know what I mean? There's got to be some kind of, it'd be handy if there was some kind of buffer in order to send the message. So you press send, and then maybe an hour later your phone buzzes and it says, Are you sure you want to send this text? So yeah, press send. And then maybe 5 hours later, are you sure you want to send this text? Really? Yeah, I want to send it. Maybe a day later, first thing in the morning. Oi, JJ, are you definitely sure that you want to send this text? I was like, what? What? I'm just getting up. You woke me up. What? What do you want? Oh, why do you keep asking me if I want to send it? I typed it out and I sent it. Why is it you have not sent it yet? Why do you keep asking me if I want to send it? Well, do you remember what you typed? I remember what. Of course, I suppose, yeah. Would you want to reread it? Why would I want to reread my text? Well, you might want to reread it. Why? Well, you were quite angry when you sent it. Yes, so? Well, sometimes we say things that we wish we hadn't said when we're angry. I said, yeah, so? Well, once it's said, you can't take it back, can you? Once you sent a text and they've read it, that's it. Why, did I write something bad? Well, I don't want to judge. Don't want to be a judge. But you might want to reread it. And to be honest, I'm not sure you read it at the first part. There's a lot of spelling mistakes, and doesn't all make complete sense. But the one thing that does come across is it's not a very nice message. And nothing good's going to come from sending it. Okay, I'll read it in a minute. In the meantime, just send it, will you? So another day later. You woken up yet? Right, can you please reread the text? So like, no, did I really type that in? Why would I say that? Can you imagine how many relationships and jobs, just generally things that would have been different if we'd have had that buffer with texting rather, on phones. To have that security, that protection from ourselves of just being hot-headed and I don't think it would take off, to be honest. I don't think, because it wouldn't. I mean, people don't want that, do they? And there seems to be, I don't know why, but I've noticed over time that quite a few people in the world seem to enjoy drama. I mean, my personal opinion is I like my drama on the television. That's the only drama, and that's where it should be, and that's where it should stay, on the television. Whether it's a movie, whether it's a soap opera, whether it's a TV show, whether it's the news, let it stay on telly. Or whether it's on YouTube, let it stay on telly. That's where I watch YouTube on telly. And I might have just created an invention 25 years too late. A buffer, a text buffering service. Maybe with AI, as it's sort of kind of being created, the AI will get to know us, our phones will get to know us, our personalities, and maybe I'll go to send a text and it'll say, "Juicy, what? Are you sure?" Am I sure what? I think that text was a little bit harsh. I don't think you're in the right state of mind to be sending texts to people right now. And it'd be like, yeah, you know what? Fair enough. So this might be useful, and maybe it will happen. Maybe, it will get to know us, get to know our moods, get to know our, whatever, cycles we're on. I mean, some people feel differently, don't they, in the winter or during the sunlight, whatever. Longest day of the year in a few days. Shortest day of the year in a few days, sorry. So, back to the body scan. How did I get sidetracked from that? Because I was talking about closing your eyes. Yeah. So if you close your eyes, well, when I suppose I can only really talk from my experience, and I like closing my eyes. And I do it a lot. So I enjoy listening to TED Talks on YouTube, interviews with people, lectures on subjects. So I guess a lot of my ongoing education comes from YouTube, I suppose. So like professors and scientists and stuff like that. Or I like to listen to classical music. I'm quite into the cello at the moment. My question is this: why is a cello not spelt with an H? I don't mean H-cello, I mean C-H-E-L-L-O. It doesn't make sense. C-E-L-L-O is cello or cello. It's not cello. Anyone? Anyone got an answer for that? Because it doesn't make sense to me. I put in cello, even when I put in C-H-E-L-L-O. The internet knows what I'm saying, but it comes up as C-E-L-L. How much do cellos cost? The reason I'm asking this is I had this idea. I had an idea. Sometimes it happens. I haven't played an instrument for a long, long, long time. And I love listening to violins. I can't play a violin. It's too little, had my head. I used to play the violin when I was a kid, so I wouldn't want to go back to that. Now, I wish I'd perhaps pursued it for longer, but I was 9 years old, so I think I played the violin for about 2 years in junior school, and I had lessons twice a week, I think. So that was during my break times. So I was okay. With a cello, it is pretty much just like a big violin, isn't it? except you couldn't put it under your chin because it's massive, unless you've got a massive chin. So there's a joke there somewhere. I'm thinking, and I don't know why, it's just an idea that's come into my head, of maybe learning to play the cello. So I don't know. I mean, I love the sound of the cello and I love the sound of the harp. And I'd probably say those are the two, probably the two instruments that I would learn, or that I'd quite like to learn. And also sitting down is definitely something I'd need to do if I was learning. So be sitting down with a cello. So it's something I could do for the rest of my life if I kind of was able to. I don't even know why. So yeah, I mean, I like the idea of a harp, but where the hell would I keep it? It's take up half the room. So I'm looking at a cello. I was going to look at this, but I was sitting on not the toilet, the chair over there, and listening to cello music. Oh, has it only got 4 strings, a cello? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many strings has a violin got? You think I'd know that, wouldn't you? Considering I used to play the violin. I don't remember. Is it only 4? One, two, three. Violin's only got 4 strings as well. But guitar's got 6 strings, isn't it? The bass has got 4 strings, and the guitar, Guitar. So guitar's got 6 strings. The bass has got 4 strings. Okay, fair enough. So that's what I'm thinking here. So you got cello lessons. Oh, if there's any close to where I live, it's starting to get dark already. Inside, it's only 3:15. It's kind of that level where I need the light on. Well, you know what dark means. All right. Lessons. I can't really see the keyboard of the laptop very clearly, like the letters and stuff. Just having a look, see if there's any cello lessons locally. Okay. Head over 5 there. I'm getting stuff from America coming up. Why is that? I don't want anything too far away. I need to find out how much it's going to cost, because I don't know. Oh, that's in town. £35 an hour? Are you having a laugh? Now, I'm not saying it's not worth £35 an hour, but it seems like a lot of money, just to me personally. Unless there's a way of learning the cello at a class, like a university or college class, Play Strings Academy. Let's have a look at this. Play Strings Academy. Learn to play violin, viola, and the cello. Sorry. Our thriving music school offers violin, viola. What's the difference between violin and viola? I thought viola was, that thing to help people to turn something soft into something harder. That's what viola was. Our Striving Music School. I've just got an image of a floppy string hand thing, a bow. They call it a bow. I just had a memory. I used to play the violin. I did. I remember it's called a bow. Our Thriving Music School offers violin, viola, and cello lessons alongside music classes, chamber music classes. I don't know what that is, and general musicianship. I think this might be. Wow. Oh, age 3 plus. Oh, okay. I feel a bit weird phoning up about doing something that's 3 plus. I mean, I guess there doesn't say an age limit. I mean, there might be an age limit to. It says here weekly 1-to-1 violin, viola, and cello lessons for ages 3 plus. So I guess maybe that's the whole spectrum of ages. 30 minutes a lesson, £24 per week. Now, if it's 30 minutes, if it's 3 lessons a week, cool. But I don't think it is. I think it's a 30-minute lesson for £24. 45-minute lesson, £36 per week. 60-minute lesson, £48 per week. And then it's got group sessions in chamber music and general musicianship. 60 minutes per week, £120 per 10-week term. Oh, does that mean you can learn? So that's just £12 a week. Does that mean you can learn in a group rather than 1-to-1? That's more affordable. And also 10-week term. I wonder if they'll let me have a cello to take home. The answer will be no to that, won't it? Yeah. All this shop, they obviously sell stuff. We know what a shop means. Okay. Okie doke. Play strings, clothing, and merchandise. Oh, they're selling teddy bears. I can't play a teddy bear, can I? I can get one of them online and just take it with me. Where's your cello? I couldn't afford one, but I got a teddy bear. Holland. Okay, so concert shirts and tour items. Ew. Yeah, that's a completely different thing. I'm not really into I don't know what that's about. So please contact. If you would like to inquire about violin, viola, or cello lessons and ensembles, or book play strings for a children's party, I do wonder, is this... I'm not sure if they teach adults. From the looks of this, they might not. But I was looking at some pictures. There are adults, but they're all young. And there are kids on that one. There's the young adults. The two teaching are adults. Oh no, I've seen one. He's probably my age. Yep, I found a baldy, so that's good. Almost looks like me. I just thought it might be quite a good way to express, a good way to focus on something, but also a good way to express, not milk, emotions maybe, perhaps, I don't know. Just got this feeling that perhaps I should start doing something. I guess I'm thinking about the year ahead, and perhaps I should do something new. Maybe. Try something new. I mean, last year I was jiu-jitsu, but I couldn't do it. I just couldn't physically. I went twice or 3 times, and I just don't. My lower back it won't allow it, and it was a little bit embarrassing, a little bit frustrating. I just left it too late. 20 years ago I'd have been fine. But it's okay. I mean, 20 years ago, I was... What was I doing 20 years ago? 20 years ago, I was doing Wing Chun, Kung Fu. So I was doing some physical stuff. I was. And Jeet Kune Do as well. Wing Chun, Jeet Kune Do. So I've saved this, so maybe I'll go back to it another time. The good thing about that place is it's an actual academy, like it's a musical academy. I might phone them or send a text message and say, look, I'm really, really old. Well, I don't want to say I'm really, but I don't want to turn up at a place where it's full of really young people, because might not be fair on them. You know what I mean? It's like if someone goes along, suddenly they see this like old thing in the corner that's falling apart, mouldy. That's how I explain myself. Maybe I should take that off my dating profile. Perhaps I get more attention. Oh, it's the old man. You never know, do you? You never know. It might be worth doing. I mean, if we do say who's who, Melinda and James, they're married or sisters and brothers. Wow. proper experienced. I think that it would, if I'd have done the cello when I was a kid, I wouldn't have been able to get it home because it would have been bigger than me when I was 9. But I think you can get cello cases that have wheels. Like luggage does now. Because I don't know if I'd want to carry it. I don't think they're like hugely heavy, but they're probably still. I see kids sometimes walking with them strapped to their back, and it is literally bigger than they are, and they seem to be okay. So they can't be like hugely heavy. Never pick one up. No, yes, I have. That was a quick turnaround, wasn't it? I can't remember his name off my head. I could just, I find that quite easy by putting cello comedian. There's only one, pretty much in the whole world. Cello comedian. So, really? So this is what's come up. This is now the AR rate. Why did the cello go to therapy? It had too many strings attached. Why did the cello get kicked out of school? Because it kept violating the rules. Sorry. Why did the cello break up with the guitar? It felt too fret. What did the cello say to the bow? The bow, rather. Stop dragging me into your, I don't know what. Jim Tavares, that's it. Jim Tavares, I saw him on TV doing his stand-up with his cello in the 80s. I mean, literally, he's been around forever and ever and ever. And when I was a DJ, I kind of made friends with him. Not that make friends, but we became, quite chatty together. And once he'd done his gig, he'd come and like hang out with me and chat, and he was very funny. Like, very funny bloke. He's bald, completely bald, and so just talking to him's funny. Just looking at him, I'm joking, blimey. I'm bald, pretty much. He used to just make me laugh. Some of the things he said was funny. But yeah, he had a cello. And he looked funny. He had a funny look about him. His funny expressions, talked funny. He was a little bit like Lurch, from the Addams Family. Not sounded wise, but he kind of looked tall, and he didn't go, "You rang." I think he's the only comedian that had a cello at the time. There might have been more now, but I mean, he's born in 1963. So he started comedy. I hasn't got a lot about him, actually. Oh, that's interesting. So he appeared in a movie called Another Country in 1984 with Rupert Everett and Colin Firth. He branched out into stand-up comedy. Yeah, unique bass with featuring his double bass. What's the difference between a bass and a double bass? I thought a cello was a double bass. Is it not? Oh no, all this time. But anyway, so that was, and he's done lots of things. So just, I'm going to have to go back. So what's the difference between a double bass? I can't see the keyboard at all hardly now. Difference between double bass. There are key differences between a cello and a double bass. Size. The cello's a lot bigger. And no, the double bass. The double bass is significantly larger than the cello, measuring around 6 feet long, while the cello is smaller, typically around 5 feet. If I did the double bass, it would actually be taller than me, because I'm 5'8", 5'9", 5'8"-ish. Tuning. Cellos are tuned in perfect fifths. C minus G minus D minus A. Whereas double basses are tuned in perfect fourths. E minus A minus D minus G. Now, I don't know if it is minus or it's just C, G, D, A or E, A, D, G. I'm not sure. Cellos have a wider range, typically up to 5 octaves, while double basses can play a maximum of 4 octaves. I prefer the cello because I like it when it goes higher as well. I don't want just like low all the time. Cellos produce a higher, more melodic sound, while double basses have a deeper, more resonant tone, making them ideal for providing the low end in orchestral music. Playing style. Cellists usually sit on a stool while playing, while bassists typically stand or sit on a high stool to play. These differences highlight the unique roles each instrument plays in the orchestra and their distinct characteristics. So yeah, I don't think the bass is something that I'd want to learn, in the sense of, if I did learn, I've gone off the whole thing now actually, to be honest. It's weird, isn't it? I was all enthusiastic and now like, I don't know if it's something to maybe. Well, I'll put it on a back burner, but you never know. I might. Just one of those things, isn't it? I had a bit of... there was definitely a bit of enthusiasm there, though, wasn't there, for a bit? So I have to take the little one out in a minute, so we'll just do a body scan, and then I will have to bring this here thing to an end. So we'll just focus to start with on your forehead. What I like to do sometimes, if I can't really get in touch with how my forehead feels, I'll either frown or I'll raise my eyebrows, both of which stretches and crumples your forehead. Maybe do both. And then the automatic thing to focus on next, which is already probably something that you're focusing on whilst you're crunching up your forehead, is your eyes. because they're being moved when you're doing that. Just noticing how your eyes feel, noticing how your eyelids are. Maybe you can see the light through your eyelids. Perhaps you're in a dark room so you can't. Perhaps you're sitting at a disco and there's lots of lights flashing around, and perhaps you should wait till you get home before you listen to this. Maybe. What I find weird is there's lots of things, but I mean, particularly in this situation, even when I'm in a room without a window open, without any airflow, I still seem to have a sense of a breeze, a very soft, cool breeze on my face. On my cheeks, my nose, my jaw, chin, and if you focus on that bottom part of your face, you know, that area all the way from the bottom of your ears all the way down, kind of if you had a beard, that whole area below your nose, below your chin, all the way up to your ears, which would be classed as the jaw area. Just noticing how it feels. And even though you're not, I mean, you do want it to relax. I mean, it'd be silly to say, oh, we're doing this and we don't want to relax. Of course we want to relax. But we're not trying to do anything. You're just observing. You're just noticing. And when you do listen to me, I like to think that if you listen regularly, you're in the state of mind of being very open to feeling relaxed, to just letting go, feeling calm and loose. Whether or not you're listening to go to sleep or to just relax, or maybe you're just listening for some company, just to hear a familiar, friendly voice. The relaxation can just come naturally. Now, I can't necessarily feel my ears by focusing on my ears all the time, but when I focus on my jaw, like the part underneath my ears, so if you open your mouth and close it, you can feel your ears moving a little bit. And when I say moving, I don't mean like they're attached with some string. They're not like moving all around the place like a Muppet. Just trying to compose myself, sorry. And when you can get in touch with the feeling of your ears, it can feel nice. And I think with things like body scans, meditations, even relaxation sessions, the ears can sometimes be left out, the same as the nose. It's almost like they'll just automatically include themselves. And chances are they will. But when you consider how important your ears are, how much your ears do for you every day of your life, how much your nose does for you. I mean, my nose is even special. It lets me know what's ahead about 3 miles away because it's so big. Honestly, I'll be walking halfway up an alleyway and it lets me know what's round the corner. Yeah, that's enough of that. So, I think with a body scan, it could be nice to... There's different ways of doing it, but you can have some gratitude, like genuine feelings of, not just doing it for rote, just doing it for the sake of it. Thank you ears, thank you nose for smelling things, thank you for sniffing, it's lovely. Well, there's a lot more, isn't there, to all the different parts of our bodies. And sometimes if you can just, like with your nose, you can just flare your nostrils a little bit, move your nose around. Try and do that thing like I Dream of Jeannie. Do you know when she used to winkle her nose? And what's the name that did the movie as well? I can't do that. Not in public, especially. Not without knocking cars over. I remember I was in London last time in London, and I was surrounded by all these big, massive buildings. But there was this little bit of grass. I think it was, I can't remember what it was. It's sort of in the centre of London. So I just laid down, because I was tired. I thought I'd just lay down for 10 minutes. It was a nice day. And within about 3 or 4 minutes, a helicopter was trying to land on the end of my nose. And I didn't want to say anything. So I just had to stay like that for about 3 hours. I don't know where they went. I mean, would they just sit there? Why didn't they just... They must have noticed at some point that they weren't at an apartment block or in an office block. I did hear some phones ringing though. It was weird. So focusing on your jaw, you focus on your mouth as well. So you've got your lips. You can move your lips around, not from room to room, but just just move them by opening your mouth, or you maybe lick your lips if you want to, or just gently, say, nibble on your lips. It sounds like it's getting erotic now, but it's not. Just so you can get a feeling of how your lips feel now. And then there's your tongue. Maybe open your mouth and just stick your tongue out and wiggle it around. By the way, if I didn't say this before, probably not a good idea to do this on public transport. It's a good time to do a body scan. You know, if you've got like an hour travelling to the city or to your work, if it's, you know, you can close your eyes and maybe listen to me and, you know, go through your body and relax, but maybe not do any of the facial expressions. Perhaps I should have mentioned that earlier. Especially if you're on a train where you're sitting opposite someone. Oh dear, I got a visual of that. That was weird. Sometimes just doing a head scan is enough. Because every time you focus on one part of your body, that part of your body will start to relax, which sends off, I guess, like an avalanche effect. The rest of your body starts to slowly relax. So your body will feel more relaxed now than it was before we started doing this. Your shoulders, the back of your neck, the sides of your neck. And you may feel you just want to stretch your neck or move your neck around your throat. Sometimes it's nice just to lift your shoulders up and just let them drop down. And there's different ways of doing this. You can tense the muscles in your arms. Maybe hold them for a couple of seconds and let go. You could just move your arms around a little bit. And I don't mean twirling them around. Yeah. You don't necessarily need to raise them above your hand and look like you're silently disco dancing or something. Or like you're putting your hand up, needing to go toilet. Miss? But sometimes it's nice to stretch your limbs, because that's also relaxing. There's your chest. And what happens, and I imagine it happens naturally anyway when you're listening to my boring voice, is your breathing just naturally becomes slower and deeper. Not because you want it to, not because you've tried to do that. It's just a natural thing, which is why I generally don't even focus on breathing. It's one of those really nice side effects of taking some time out, letting go, listening to me. And probably also an effect of having complete non-excitement for a while. That's the one thing I can provide. Maybe focusing on your stomach, the whole area pretty much from the bottom of your neck, down your chest, all the way down to your hips area, your midsection, your groin, whatever you want to call it. I was trying not to say the word groin, but you know what I'm talking about, that area below your belly button where the naughty bits reside. You can notice how you feel in your armpits. That might involve you moving your arms around a little bit and just noticing how you feel down the sides of your body. Another part that's sometimes just missed out. All the way down to your hips. And now a huge area, a huge part of your body. I mean, with me it would be my belly, but I mean just generally it's our back. Just allow yourself to focus on your back. You can start from the back of your neck all the way down your spine, moving outwards to your shoulders and to the sides of your back. You can start by moving down from your shoulders and then moving inwards towards your spine. You can just start from moving down either side of your spine, one vertebrae at a time, sparking that sense of focus and letting go at the same time, relaxing your back, continuing to feel loose. Moving down to your lower back, where it joins with your hips, your buttocks, your groin, the tops of your thighs, that whole area. Allow that to relax, or just notice how it feels. With your buttocks, you may choose to just tense one, let it go. Tense the other one, and let it go. And tense your third one. Let it go. Of course, if you've only got two buttocks, then just focus on them. Now you can do the same with your thighs. If you choose, you can tense them up and just watch as they release. Watch in your mind's eye. Moving down your legs, your calf muscles, your shins. All the way down to your ankles, the heels of your feet, the bottoms of your feet, the sides of your feet, the tops of your feet. Each individual toe. You can notice as you relax your feet, as you focus on your feet, you can also focus on the same parts of your hands. So your hands also relax. Your palms, your wrists, tops of your hands, and your fingers. And lastly, although we can't directly really focus on our brain, we know where it is. You know where your brain is. You can focus on your head, on your scalp, any part of your head that you can feel. You may choose to put your hand on your head and send that relaxation from your body, maybe both hands just gently touching your head, sending that comfort and relaxation and stillness into your brain. Relaxing your brain and your scalp at the same time. And slowing down your mind even more. And then just let your arms flop back down, or let them go down gently. And you can, if you want to, you can sit like this or lay down like this for as long as you choose. And every time you hear my voice, you can experience more comfort, more relief, and more relaxation. So thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself, because you do deserve to be happy. And be gentle with yourself. You deserve to feel safe. And remember, you are enough. Lots of love. Bye.